I mean, is there any like good gaming company though? Real talk.
I mean, Riot Games is good at the communicating part, at least. I feel like. No?
True. Actually, unironically true. Unpopular.
No, 'cause, like,
Bro,
I
you
remember I
just said that
no,
because they shit on you on Twitter,
I played
Dante.
TFT, and like Mortdog was the goat at that.
Well, okay, wait.
True,
Hold
true.
on. Wait, Azzapp.
You just
Shit
got
on me
Drew
on
Levin
Twitter?
on the you got Drew Levin just like roasted you.
Yeah, but I didn't bother responding because I know that there's no point in arguing with them, bro. But let me ask you a question, Azzapp. If engagement
Please
optimized
don't be
matchmaking
about,
doesn't
oh no.
wait, Azzapp, quick question. If engagement optimized matchmaking doesn't exist, why is the only reason why I even know about that term? Because I read about it in an official Riot file trademark.
What are you saying? Engagement? What the fuck did you say?
EOMM. He's talking about engagement optimized matchmaking.
What does that mean?
They hold one of the patents. It's basically like he's saying that they're shadowly manipulating games to make you get the 50% win rate by like giving you some win streak, lose streak bullshit.
Oh, Deadlock, same thing, yeah.
People say that, but like I don't think.
Wait, Azzapp, you genuinely believe Losers Q's not real? Say on God.
No.
Okay, wait, Azzapp.
He won't say it.
Wait, no, we need to have a talk. Okay, League of Legends.
He didn't say on God, by the way.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Bro, I don't care.
Wait, okay, hold on, Azzapp.
No, but
put it on your wife's. Okay, you have a wife. Put it on your wife's life that you think Losers Q isn't a thing.
If I had to bet, like I would say it's overwhelmingly more likely that it doesn't exist. Sure, there's like a potential eventuality where it does exist, but like if I had to bet it, I would just bet everything I have that it's not implemented.
Okay, so then I want you to say on my wife's life, I truly believe that it is not a thing. Just say that.
What the fuck?
No, like, because I'm willing to say that on my wife's, on my parents, on my cat's lives, I think Losers Q is real. And I'm willing to stand by that shit till I die. No,
bro,
I'm telling you. I'll put it on your life too. I'll put it on your life. I'll put it on Vegas's life. I'll put it on everyone's life. On my own life.
Don't put me in totally gray, man.
No, but listen. Tell me that wait, Azzapp, tell me right now. Would you put it on anyone that you care about's life?
No, I wouldn't. I don't give a shit. It's like a video game, brother. I wouldn't. But like that's just like because it's a lose-lose scenario putting it. Like, why would you even say that?
No, because the thing is that it shows that you actually have true belief in what you're saying.
Bro, you sound like one of those like cultists. Like it makes no sense.
No, Azzapp, I'm just the guy telling you that the sky is blue, but because the scientists have told you that it's green your whole life, you just believe them, and you ignore what you see with your eyes. That's the thing.
That shit's actually real, though. Like, Deadlock is the same shit.
God.
It is, yes, Vegas.
I'll be playing the best I've ever played in a video game in my life, legit, and the enemy team just loads in. They have, like, every better player. They have every better character. The game's fucking unwinnable. You lose 8 in a row, and I played perfectly.
Bro, even Clash Royale...
Like, you don't have to do that, by the way. If you just do randomized matchmaking, that's the matches you'll be getting very often.
Go flip a coin 8 times. Tell me you lose 8 in a row.
Yeah, but Vegas...
It's 2 to the power of 8, 1 in 256.
That's a very high chance.
Guys, wait, hold on.
That's kind of likely, man, given how many people are playing games all the time.
What are the odds of flipping heads 8 times in a row?
1 in 256.
No, it's way more than that.
No, it's 2 to the power of 8, 1 in 256.
No shot. It is 1 in 256. What about? Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
it's kind of likely given how many people are queuing up at the exact same time. It's just like we're human. And
listen,
don't you play VelKoz? This guy probably has
Vegas. I got this, bro.
He knows trigonometry. He knows fucking everything. Like,
okay, so listen, guys, listen. Riot has officially stated that they use skill-based matchmaking. Azzapp, will you agree with that?
Skill-based. I mean, that's what matchmaking is. They have some sort of rating that's assigned to you, and then
wait, hold on. I just want you to agree with me. Skill-based matchmaking. Will you agree with me that is because it's literally what they've come out publicly and said that they use? Will you give me that they have come out and said that they use skill-based matchmaking? Yes or no?
Given that the game uses ranked, yes, that is what skill-based matchmaking is. So it's not normal games randomized. Even normal games aren't randomized for the experience of players. so you
No,
get like
so this
fairer
is the
matches.
reason. So this is the reason why the proof is in the pudding that losers queue exists. Because if it didn't, Riot would say they use MMR based matchmaking. If matchmaking in general, as a generalized concept, would just be a thing where it's like you get 10 players that have similar rank, gold players, silver players, and bronze players, and even platinums would have a literal 5-second queues. The reason why you get queue times are
True.
longer is
True.
because they try to sit there and optimize it in a way where everybody gets matched around similar MMR brackets in this like way where you're gonna have everybody leaning towards 50%. So the people that are win streaking need to be matched with anchors, and the people that are lose streaking need to be matched with fucking with airplanes are just gonna carry them. This is
Airplane.
literally how Azzapp, think about it. Why would there be 35-second queue times in gold? If are you really gonna tell me that League of Legends would not have 10 gold players instantly queuing up at any given time? You're really
There's
gonna
like there's a lot of gold players queuing up. They're trying to get the fair matches by giving you the exact role, that's why people get main roles essentially all the time at gold, because they wait a little bit of extra longer. They've done the studies, they know how long people are willing to wait. And like, it doesn't really matter if you wait 5 seconds or 35 in gold, if they can ensure like you get your role better satisfaction and a closer match. Like, I don't see why they would want to.
No, but that is the perfect thing. You just said a closer match. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they do
and
a closer
what
match.
dictates
Yeah.
the closer match? The closer match, like
Autofill parity and the role parity, main role parity,
No,
secondary, all of
no,
that, and
no,
closer
no.
in elo.
No, it's not about
What do you
elo.
mean?
It's about
What?
it's about whether or not you're hot streaking, you're cold streaking, what champions you main, if you get countered by the enemies, if they're gonna give a guy on the like. There's a reason why it's not guaranteed who gets what role when you spawn into a game, and the reason why is because sometimes Riot will literally sit there. They'll give you 2 Fizz 1 tricks on your team, but then the enemy team has a Fizz 1 trick and
Yes,
yes, first pick.
exactly.
So
Yes,
you're
This
saying
is a literal
okay,
thing.
okay, let me
Exactly.
get this
Yes, I agree.
straight. So you're saying that
I
they
agree.
basically get 2 Fizz players 1 tricks on purpose in one lobby, so they would sandbag them.
Yes.
No,
this
That they're
happens.
searching,
Yes.
they're
But it
scanning
does
and
happen.
searching for such things.
Not
Vegas, it
no,
does happen.
Not,
Yes.
not specifically one tricks, but specifically people who are not on their main hero. Yes.
Or it'll be a thing where, for example, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna play Hecarim. How is it possible that sometimes I'll be playing in, let's say, Master Lobby, where you can easily find many Master players, but then I have a guy on my team that's also a Hecarim one trick that's now filled mid, or on the enemy team, there's a Hecarim one trick that gets first pick, and
Brother,
then
you play like
afterwards I don't
50
get it.
games a day. You're addicted. You grind League of Legends much like
But
me,
it
much like
doesn't
everybody
matter.
else. We play all the fucking time. You're experiencing this through a human lens, which is just not very good at parsing this information. Like, if you get like 3 inters in a row, you're gonna think it's some divine retribution that the god is
No.
striking you down for something you've done that morning, and then you're gonna come up with a
You can't
conclusion
disprove
that
that
that's what's happening, and you think
And
it's
that-
like some sort of karmic justice
No,
there, but it's just
because- so
literal
this is the
randomized
problem.
chance. But you're a
So-
human.
So Azzapp, the problem with this is that you're taking isolated occurrences and you're attributing them as isolated occurrences. So when I tell you, for example, oh yeah, they're gonna get first pick, they made my champion, you're like, well, that doesn't prove losers queue. But it's all the back end shit that's happened in the past that we know is happening, that we know that Riot have even come out and said and talked about, that is the foundation for why everything that I'm talking about are just like the decorations that showcase it to you right in front of your eyes. Azzapp, if there is a skill-based matchmaking and you are designing a matchmaking algorithm that you want to make as fair as possible, what is more fair than gearing everyone towards a 50% win rate? There's nothing more fair than that, which is the reason why Riot uses it, right?
The thing is, they don't have to, like, listen, if you have a matchmaking system that works, it's literally just the basic of the basic elo system based like chess. If you have the very basic matchmaking system that is functional, meaning you get placed with the people of your elo, you get similar gains when you're playing with the people of your elo, you're going to tend towards 50% win rate. No matter what, you don't have to fiddle with it. You don't have to do anything. If it works, it's going to get you to 50% win rate over time, precisely because you're playing versus people who kind of match against you. If you start win streaking, you're going to be placed in lobbies that are more difficult, playing against better players because you're higher elo, then it's going to lower your win rate.
Then
and it fine-tunes it.
How come at the top 1% in TFT, the people have a higher win rate in a random game than in the top 1% in League? It's still everyone's closer to 50. What if it's RNG or not?
Wait, what? I didn't. Can you repeat that?
Like I feel like TFT as a game that should have more variables than regular League. Do you agree? Like it should be
No,
more
TFT
random?
has less variables than League.
Less variables than League.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You exert your impact in quickly, like in higher frequency through TFT than League of Legends.
Well, TFT has losers queue too, but
TFT is like controlled RNG. It's basically like playing Slay the Spire or like deck builders or roguelikes. It's controlled RNG that you can kind of play with and make decisions based off of the RNG. Whereas League of Legends is you just paired up versus 5 unknowns with 4 unknowns. So like you're just 10% of the game.
Are consistently like the MM just sucks when you get people that are one tricks on your team and none of them are on their one tricks and they get 4 one tricks and they're all 4 on their one tricks. Like it's so that's actually just,
like the thing is you don't notice when that happens for you because you're just having too much fun stomping the enemies and you're glazing yourself like I'm so fucking good wrecking these kids.
The game
you don't notice it. You don't think about it, but you only think about it when you lose.
Half your games. Exactly. So it makes sense why they would want that because even if you're a worse player, you could beat better players 50% of the time because of RNG. That makes sense. So everybody is happy the exact same amount of times.
Yeah, but that just happens normally. You don't have to like skew anything for that to happen.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, Azzapp, listen. We know for a fact that Riot is willing. Will you listen?
Yeah.
Will you at least be willing to admit that Riot has been elo inflating players for years now?
Elo inflation happens. I don't know if they're doing it deliberately or they just don't understand where the game is going and how to fix it or how to contain it. This is like a complex issue.
But okay,
there has been inflation over the years. Yeah, obviously, like because the numbers are now
every
absurd.
year has inflation. Every year has inflation, right? And the way that Riot, like, the problem with you, Azzapp, and I think this is like the real issue, is that you view Riot as an individual rioter, whereas you have to view Riot as a company that wants to maximize profits. What Riot has consistently done over
that's
the
what
last
they're doing.
Okay,
that's what they're doing.
Exactly. So this is the reason why it is the way it is, right? With losers queue, winners queue, and like skill-based matchmaking. Like the thing about it is that winners queue and losers queue has to exist in any game where you want to have a fair matchmaking system. It legitimately has to, because if it doesn't, then you will just have outliers at one end of the spectrum or the other end of the spectrum, where it's like they're either just completely hardstuck when they shouldn't be, or in way above elos where they shouldn't be. So you need to have some kind of like facet that's going to sit there and tie everything together that kind of pushes everything towards the center.
So how do you explain like the same exact people reaching rank 1 in like multiple different years, like Phantasm going crazy, Natty not going crazy, hitting rank 1 like EU, Korea? How does that happen?
Because they're slightly better than the average other top players, so the game is forced 50, but they make it a forced 52% because they're really good.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Wouldn't
yeah,
that, like okay, let's say if you had a super fair matchmaking system, wouldn't that be more likely or less likely to happen?
Okay, wait, Azzapp, I have a better.
No, just like if you had a more fair matchmaking system than whatever you're thinking is skewed, like wouldn't that be more likely to happen that the best player would emerge at the top? If you have more fair foundationally system, wouldn't that be more likely to happen?
What, that better players get
the best player gets the rank 1 multiple times, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can do it because if you're just levels above everybody else, sure, but that's not a thing that you should base it on. Like you have to understand that
the whole existence of people reaching rank 1 multiple times, like Agarin hitting multiple times rank 1, Natty not hitting multiple times rank 1, like the fact that the same exact people can reach it again, it's more in line with the regular matchmaking and not the skewed matchmaking. The skewed would just rotate the people.
This isn't
casinos
true.
literally have a 4% edge on the slots, but how come 90% of people lose if it's only a 4% edge?
That's exactly what it is.
Everybody loses in fucking casino. Casino is just mathematically rigged to make you lose. And if you skew like yours by like 1%,
that's what he's saying.
By counting cards, you can skew it by like 1 to 2%. Like they're gonna kick your ass out. That's casino.
Is that not what Riot is as well? You have a 50-50. You have a 50-50, except the best gamblers.
Yeah, but their profit model is not based on like.
Azzapp, I'm gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
Have you heard that casinos have banned counting cards because apparently
I know,
gives.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the edge gamblers get from counting cards?
Like 2% at max on like a very on like a small amount of decks.
Okay. So if people are sitting there, right, and if a 2% variation is that big that it's willing to like lose your mind over, then do you not think that a player having a 54 versus 56% win rate, because they can sit there and in some of those games that they should have lost, they're just able to ultra carry for whatever circumstances, like basing your ideas on like what is or isn't losers queue because of Natty Nat or Viper is not a proper way of looking at things, right? Because it'll still take Natty Nat thousands of games to hit rank 1. It'll still take Viper hundreds of games to hit rank 1, even though they are eons above everyone else, right? So this is the thing, like, if anything, the fact that it even takes them that long to hit the ranks that they do in that many games, it just shows like, how does Nat have a 56% rate? Just think about it, right? Like 56? How does like how is
because
it
he
that
plays
when,
like versus the best players in the world? Like it's not easy to do really well and stuff like rank harvest like the best people in the world.
I mean,
He gets matched with the best.
Yes and no. I would argue that it's more. I would argue that League is more of a bottom-heavy game nowadays, where it's like you're more likely to get held down by the worst player that you have than be uplifted by the
I
best.
would agree in
Master
Master and above, yeah. Master and above, yeah, for sure.
Deadlock is the same way. You have one guy entering, the game's fucking over. They just have everyone's same skill, but they have one carry that snowballs, and the game's fucking over. Like, someone on your team doesn't.
That's a slight problem in League design. Yeah, it's very. It's bottom heavy, yeah.
My takes are from Deadlock, but I agree with Dantes. It feels everything he's saying, it feels the exact same.
It's because the thing is that it's not a Riot specific thing or like a Deadlock specific thing. It's literally just a thing where in any competitive game that has any ranking system, losers and winners queue is forced because 50% win rates are the ideal. That's why even in Clash Royale,
we agree that everyone's just chasing the monetary value and you want to min-max the money. Like, wouldn't it be more prudent for
Deadlock doesn't
games?
have money though. Deadlock has no money. It's not monetized. They don't gain anything from anyone playing Deadlock.
Yeah, like I don't really know about that. Like, I don't know like what they said, what they haven't said. That there's like numerous people in Riot Games like claiming and like confirming and putting it out on the record specifically that they don't use EOMM, which is something you wouldn't do if you used the EOMM because you would just ignore the fucking question. Like, VelKoz doesn't have to respond to a random tweet online. Why would he put his like career and break NDA for no reason?
No, listen, we just gotta call it how it is, bro. There were probably Nazis saying nothing was happening in concentration camps either. Do you know what I mean, bro?
Wait.
Like, no. We gotta call it, bro. At the end of the day, if people have something to gain, right, by pushing a certain narrative that
but he doesn't have something to gain. He can only lose. That's the point. That's the exact proposition I'm saying. He can only lose by putting it out there. Imagine you get a job.
Work for a company. If you work for a company and you always see people talking about a certain thing, do you think it's better to lie about it and just?
It's the best not to talk about it. If he knows that like he's saying lies, why would he answer to a random tweet? Why you can just ignore it?
Then it's like, why are you ignoring it?
Well, who cares? Like that's what people do. That's what your entire goddamn government does. They just do war crimes and ignore them because then they don't have to answer for them. That's literally what the United States is doing. Like, the best policy is to literally ignore if you know you're doing something wrong. People get over it like in the next. What about the fucking Epstein? Like people get over that in like 7 days and forget about it.
Yeah, but it's the thing is you're wrong. It's not that it's ignored. It's the fact that false narratives are put out that quell the intermediate thing. Like it's not like Trump just ignored the Epstein things. He just lied about them to a point where everyone like ate it up, right? It's not that like. It's not like it's being ignored, bro. Like shit like that isn't ignored. It's just that false narratives are pulled out, and then the supporters, the fervent believers are like, yeah, you know what? Maybe they're right about it, and then boom. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, just because somebody, like if somebody works for a company, if anything, it makes it even more impossible to sit there and be like, oh, you know, like you sit there and you do this, we don't do this thing when it's like, well, yeah, like. Skill-based matchmaking exists in every single game there is, more or less.
I'm just saying, if I was Frogzone and I'm paid to be like this online communicator, first of all, like what can you gain by putting out there the fact that there is no UMM? Okay, if there isn't, like you're just fucking yourself up. Like, and if there is, and you lied about it, now you're never going to be hired by any other company because as a public communicator you're soured and everybody fucking hates you online.
I don't think it's that deep. Like
you would just ignore it. You would literally just ignore it.
No, you wouldn't, because if you have to, dude, if 1,000 people in your chat come in right now,
you can't disprove it no matter what. So like, it doesn't matter what they say, to be honest with
yeah,
you. Because if you
like
can't disprove
that's
it no
the
matter
thing.
what, then it doesn't
If
matter.
if there are people that are under
But like,
NDA, which I'm sure Riot's a
people have
company that have
literally done
NDAs, like,
studies. They've done research. There's been numerous Reddit posts of people calculating thousands of different games and trying to figure out and prove the existence of the losers queue. And they couldn't fucking pull it off with an extraordinary sample size. They couldn't pull it off. There was like no, there's not even a smidge of evidence for it, except like that one like lingering patent from like since forever.
Okay, well, do you think Dream cheated in Minecraft speedruns?
Mathematically, yes. I don't know much about it, but I've seen like one math video about it.
Yo, so Solar Baka,
Solar,
does
settle
losers queue
this.
exist? Yes or no?
Does losers queue exist?
There's no way GP player would fall for this.
Losers queue in this scenario is a Riot Games creating a system in which they're trying to keep you at like 50% win rate, right?
Yes.
Like there's winners queue, because losers queue means there's winners queue.
Yes.
That's not even the definition, though, what you just said.
Also, what if it's not black and white? What if one team has an overwhelming advantage on purpose and one team has an overwhelming disadvantage on purpose, to where it's not technically black and white? It's just there's severe favoritism.
Okay, in my experience, I don't think losers queue exists.
Of course, a GP player, he brain is a prerequisite.
Then okay, well then you're either like, you're either lying or you're just like brainwashed.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense for it to happen. I think it makes sense for a game dev to want people to play their game as much as possible, so they create times in which you're going to lose and then times you're going to win streak. That way you stay addicted to the game. I think that part makes sense. In my experience, back when names were a thing, I would OPGG every single lobby. And I'm going to be honest, it was only like 15% of the time that I saw that like 3 of my teammates, you know, on OPGG, it would say like 5-game losing streak, 3-game losing streak. That was like 15% of my lobbies. I felt like it was balanced for the most part. And it was usually just people being, you know, toxic assholes that like wanted to lose the game.
Yeah, I think the more you're afraid of the loser queue, the more you believe in it, the more power you give it, and it's more likely to exist because you're just willing it into existence in a way. By just assuming that your teammates are gonna suck because you're in a lose streak, then you essentially become the loser's queue. It's more like an emotional state.
Look, are you gonna sit there? Are you gonna sit there and are you gonna believe more in a thing like, let's say, losers queue, and then end up losing more because of it? Sure, but that doesn't discount the fact that it exists. Like, and just so you guys realize, the reason
I
why
agree
it's in
Dantes
the game,
there, by the way. That's an actual truth nuke.
Yeah, like the reason why it exists, right? First of all, isn't because they want to keep you addicted. It's because there is no way that you can have a multi-level matchmaking system for millions of players, right? And then just have it match everyone willy-nilly. Like, there needs to be underlying factors behind why people get matched the way they do, or it's like I was saying, there would be 0-second queue times in bronze, silver, and gold literally all the time. Literally.
Well, is like matchmaking based off of isn't matchmaking based off of MMR, which is just a number, and they're trying to get the number even on both sides? I thought it was as simple as that.
Basically, yeah. And now they have clauses about the parity of the fill and rules.
So think of it this way. Solar, think of it this way. Imagine you're sitting there and you want to find like a girlfriend, right? You're gonna sit there, and then the first prerequisite is like, okay, she has to be a girl, right? But then it's like, okay, well, maybe she can also be kind, maybe she can be nice, maybe she can be funny, maybe she can be generous, and then all of these things are gonna factor into who you actually want to choose. So the MMR, think of it as it's just like the girl, right? Where it's like MMR, okay, there are 10 people in a similar MMR pool. But then it's this very advanced algorithm, right, that is able to sit there and mix and match and predetermine and take everyone's attributes in a way where now it gives the most fair lobby possible, depending on what it wants from each player that is a part of the lobby.
Nitsan, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, I mean, kind of like what you're saying is logically it can make sense to be like, I mean, what you're saying, there's no without getting into the nitty gritty, what you're saying is kind of just like words, and it's like, do you believe me or do you not believe me type of thing, you know what I mean? Because the counter to that is just like I don't know, man.
Is there,
you know what I
is
mean?
there engagement, is there an
numbers.
engagement optimized matchmaking in chess?
I don't know, maybe.
Because it's in a 1v1 game, it's infinitely simpler to pull off. Like, why wouldn't they have it there?
In a one-on-one game that's been out for 10 million years and hasn't even had a patch since the medieval ages, I don't think that it's the same thing. Because, like, at that point, with that many reps, and it's 1v1, it would literally the best way to do matchmaking would be the closest MMR ranking. And there's no variables.
Yeah, because like the thing is, in Clash Royale, for example, they break games, and the way they actually came out in a support ticket and they said this right to a guy, and he exposed it. So they literally said that what they do is, depending on how well or how badly you're doing, you're either going to get matched against players that have decks that get countered by yours or ones that counter yours.
Yeah, that is actually cancer. Wow.
Yeah, what? And like, what are we talking about? Decks? What is that?
In Clash Royale, so it's like you can choose.
What the fuck
cards.
is Clash Royale?
Mobile game, right?
Yeah, it's a mobile game where you choose like a loadout of cards and then you get into a game.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not gonna give my opinion on mobile games that I don't know about. I'm telling you about the League of Legends experience that I play every day, basically.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, it's a thing where in every single game there is in a competitive setting, you cannot tell me that game companies are so like irresponsible that they have a purely MMR-based matchmaking when multiple parties are involved.
It's clearly not MMR-based matchmaking. It's obvious. That's like it's obvious.
Yeah, and
that's not the optimal way to. That's not the optimal way to do MM. Like, I think the real answer is like a middle ground between what the both of you guys are arguing. It's not fully as schizophrenic as Dantes is saying, but there actually probably is force 50.
Yeah. So Dantes, wait. So how deep does this loser's queue go in your head? So like, if you were to flesh it out, right? After how many games are you taken out of loser's queue in your head? Or like, if you win a game where you are in loser's queue, do you get taken out of it, or is it going to put you right back in until you lose the next game? Like, how does that work?
So there is no way to ever escape, and it's at a point where it can't even be a thing, where your loser's queue is attached to your like literal system, in the sense that you will never be able to escape it no matter which account you go on. That's why sometimes you're going to lost streak on one account, and go on to another, have a guy that ends, go on to another, have another guy that ends, and it just doesn't end. It's almost like loser's queue is not time-based, it is game-based, and no matter which accounts you switch to, oftentimes you will keep getting cancer games no matter what, right? So that's the first thing. And in terms of how deep it is, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, believe that it's at a level of advance where it's even something like you're going to have a top laner that never wards before 2 minutes, and he's going to intentionally get matched against a jungler that 3 camps into top lane every single game. I think Riot is able to identify stuff like this and match players with and against each other based on stuff like this, because if Professor, right, can tell us player traits from the time a game starts, then you can't tell me that Riot Games can't do the same.
I honestly can't tell at this point if like Dantes just like co-opted this issue as this like part of like his schizo persona, or is legitimately believing this.
Azzapp,
I think he believes it.
It seems a little bit too excessive to analyze all of this for Riot Games, I think.
What's ironic about this whole thing? You're doing exactly what Trump did. Instead of denying the Epstein files, you just say, I just can't believe it's part of your schizo delusion. Like, you're just making fun of, you're antagonizing him now instead of just arguing his points anymore.
Like, guys, I play this game 12, literally, anywhere between 10 to 12 hours a day for the last 12 years, right? The second you sit there and you start really asking yourself questions, and you start really being like, isn't it odd that this happens? Isn't it odd that this happens? Isn't it odd that this happens? Like, everything that I've said is something that I would stake everything I have on, you know? But
okay, wait. Sorry, Dantes. So, like, one of the things of like loser's queue is like you go into your match history, or the person's match history, right? And let's say like they're a player and they just randomly queued off roll, not even autofill, they just randomly queue off roll, they first time a character, and then they're losing a game, right? That's usually stuff that happens in like quote unquote like loser's queue, right? If you get a person that's just like, why are they first timing this? Why is this happening randomly out of nowhere? Why are they in a 5-game loss streak? But is like, to me, the way I view it is from like the players themselves. And I feel like most League players were every single person that they kind of hate in a game that causes them the loser's queue. You know what I mean? Like at one point you were the guy picking the character that is just going to lose you the game.
Yeah, so the thing is, I would agree with you if it wasn't for my actual schizo theory. So this is the only theory that I have that I don't 100% believe in, but that as days go by, I am starting to. And it's the Riot Games time machine.
I'm with you.
Really?
I'm with you all the way right now. Time machine.
Okay, can you elaborate, please?
Okay.
I'm interested.
So the thing is that we all know losers queue exists. We all know that EOMM is the thing, whatever it is, okay? Now, the next level is that you ask yourself, well,
Kinda
how is
true,
it
yeah.
possible that I
Kinda
can
true,
lose this
yeah.
game? Because I
Appreciate
randomly
it.
have a Fiora and Nunu bot lane, and they're both first timing their champs, and they're both inting. Welcome to the Riot Games
And then you play
time
against them
machine.
the next time, and they're literally
Yep.
on their main dropping 30 and 0
Yep.
against you. And they're like fucking geniuses.
It's because I'm not kidding when I say this. Either the algorithms are so unbelievably advanced that they can assess a player's entire thousands of games of whatever to really figure out, like, okay, if he wins 5 in a row and then loses 1 in a disgusting way, then he's gonna first time next game. Or it's a thing where they legitimately have access to like time machines where they can just have matchmaking occur in this kind of way.
But
Do you think Solar Baka is part of their plan? Because I had Solar Baka in my team in Korea, and he sucked ass, but against me, he popped off like crazy.
Are you stupid? I got a pentakill. Carried you and made a YouTube video on it. It's right there. I got a pentakill and carried your sorry ass. You got solo killing. You're like, damn.
It's an example. It's an
And
example.
I sat there. I held your hand, and I got a penta, and we won the game.
Well, guys, listen, at the end of the day, we all play League of Legends. We are all subjected to the Riot Games time machine.
True.
Like,
I don't play that game actually, but
yeah, well, Vegas, you're a part of the
can't get it
deadlock
back
time
again.
You
machine.
But
will.
we're
You
talking
will.
about Nazis
The
and
time
shit.
machine knows you will.
So that's why, guys, like, I'm telling you, it's really like this thing where, not even bullshitting, like, guys.
My chat says Solar's a win trader.
So I am a very known win trader. Yes. In season 16, I win traded my way to rank 1 in Korea.
Okay.
Azzapp was there.
I was there.
Guys,
Why are
He
you done
flashed
playing?
in
Is it
place, by the
period
way.
of time?
I've seen him.
guys, do you want me
you're
to
saying
use a
Riot Games
whiteboard
knew
to
you were a
explain
win trader?
everything?
Proven win trader, sorry.
Okay, guys, do you want me to use a whiteboard to explain? Would this help you?
Yeah,
No.
please.
Bro,
Okay, let me
Dantes,
get
okay, but the players who cause the players who are on your team in losers queue are the players who exist in every single game that you were also at one point. Is it
Yes.
that crazy to think that they're just a version of you? You know what I mean? Just at a different point.
What if it's a different dimensional thing? What if it transcends the current dimension?
Well, here, look. I have the whiteboard out.
True.
Give me a second.
Listen, like, can you just give me, like, what would it take from Riot Games for you to drop the idea of losers queue? What would it take? What's the level of proof that Riot would have to dish out for this to, like, for you to change your mind?
I would have to do a lie detector test with everyone on the balance team and the Riot CEO.
And if that were to happen, you
Yes.
like the lie detector goes through, and you would change your opinion.
They could
Yes.
change the lie detector if they had a time machine.
Yeah, what if the lie detector's in losers queue?
Well,
Then what?
that's why the lie detector.
Yeah.
the lie
What if the lie detectors are also losers queue? Like there's a 1 in 100
Lie
chance that
detectors
they
aren't even
malfunction.
that great
They
like
are
a
being
tool.
used.
You can literally
Like-
get more information just looking stuff
like
up.
here,
You can compare to lie
guys, at the end of
detector.
the day, there are people more schizophrenic than me. So the thing is that there's bound to be one guy that's schizo and that's good with PCs. So if they release the matchmaking source code, which I mean they would never do, and then I could have like a schizo that believes with me, that could check through everything and unbiasedly give me his thoughts, then that could also be something. But it's like, it's this thing where it's like that thing, bro. How can you sit there and how can you believe a writer telling you it doesn't exist when they are literally hired by the company of which it would be a part of? It's like there's no Warren Bossing say, bro. Like it's like
Yeah,
believing
exactly.
her.
Okay, okay, you know what's crazy? This person on the enemy team in my deadlock game just typed losers queue is real in all chat. How do they even know we're talking about that? Like,
Yes.
time machine.
So now, guys, I have my
Illuminati.
marker out. Let me show you
I just
something,
hope that
okay?
like Drew Levin and Frogzone are like ever get to this clip and then they go and do the lie detector. I think that would be just the funniest shit
Yeah.
ever.
So
You
listen,
should
guys.
do
Right
that.
now, let me draw. Okay. So imagine right now we're playing in silver, right? And we have a team of about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say we have 20 people, right, that are queuing up. The question is, how do you make sure that their experience is as good as possible if you're a matchmaking system, right? And the way that you would do it is not by just taking the first 5, matching them against the first 5, and then doing the same with this one. Because if you do that, then you lead to a lot of weird things where it's like, well, what if one team has 3 Smurfs? What if one team has 4 Hardstuck players? What if this happens, that happens, right? What if one team has 5 on rolls, 5 off rolls, like whatever it is? So then
Wouldn't
what
that be
ends up
good for the
happening?
loser queue though? Like those like
Well, that
asymmetrical
well,
matches.
asymmetrical matches are good for losers queue. Yes, you're right, but that's only once you enter losers queue, right? Because winners queue also exists too. So in the same amount of games that you're gonna have somebody that is just completely running your shit down, over the course of thousands of games, you're gonna have somebody that smurfs on your team, right? So like we're
Wait,
right.
so you're saying that because you mentioned that all your other alt accounts are experience the same exact thing, winners queue and losers queue, right? So what
Yes.
you're saying is that if you're in losers queue, there's also winners queue, which means to activate winners queue, run it down on a Smurf account, give them what they deserve so that you can get winners queue. That's exactly what
Couldn't
you're
you
saying.
abuse
That's like
that and get
saying,
rank
okay,
1 though?
okay, that is brain dead. That is like playing a slot machine, saying I'm gonna bet on 20-cent spins until I lose a lot, and then I'm gonna increase my bet, and I'm gonna win every time, guaranteed. That's not how that
Yeah.
works.
So like
Genius.
solar. There's something to realize, right? About so when it comes to specifically IP based, right? And like kernel level losers queue, right? Which is the type that I'm talking about. That only activates once you hit your absolute limit. So to give you an example, I have not had kernel level losers queue for a while. Yesterday, at one point, I said I'm never playing on my main account again, right? And the reason why was because I sat there and I had a 2 and 28 Nunu Fiora bot lane. Next game, I go on another account. Instantly, first game, my mid laner spam ping 1 and 4. AFKs, we lose. Next game right after, my mid laner does the same shit, sells all his items on Akali, buys 6 mana crystals, and then afterwards just ends. So kernel level losers queue does happen, but it is a lot more infrequent. So like say we have losers queue, right? And then we have kernel level losers queue, right? The thing about it is that
What if
oftentimes
you're in a
you're
different
not
machine and like you're playing from a different PC?
then there is a chance if there's no association, maybe, right? Are you guys following?
Yes.
Okay. So now the thing is that the way that Riot works, right? So we'll get into this later. But the way that Riot works is that they're gonna sit there, right? And they can't match 5 against 5 willy-nilly, right? Obviously.
Wait,
Like
what does Circle K have to do with anything? I missed Circle K. What is that?
that's kernel
That's
level
kernel
losers queue,
level.
but the-
Get up with the pace, man. That's KLLQ.
Yep. Yep. So now, guys, this is the thing we have to realize, okay? Because this is where it starts getting very important. Azzapp, I want you to imagine you're hosting a viewer tournament, right? And you're sitting there and you have 10 people, right? That are all of different ranks. How would you match them in 5v5 to make it fair?
Like first you put them randomly against each other and then winners versus winners.
Well, no, wrong. You wouldn't do that.
Yes, that's what you do.
No, because Azzapp, what you would do, so Azzapp, listen. So what you would do, right, is you would take those 10 people and you would, hold on, let me erase, give me a second. So let me explain what you would do. Imagine you have 10 players, right, and they're all different ranks. And imagine this, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Imagine these are the 10 players, right? And this is from lowest rank to highest rank. What you would probably do is you would match them in ways where it's like team 1, team 2, team 2, team 1, team 1, team 2, right? So that you can at least have some kind of like normal thing, right? Or you would do it in a way, right, where another option would be that, let's say you go, for example,
You can do the duos.
team 1. Yeah, so like team 1, team 1.
Yeah,
Team 2,
Apollo. This can be a case
team
study
2,
how conspiratorial thinking can be disproven.
team 1,
Yeah,
team
like
1,
there's
right?
no level
And
of
you would do it in that way.
evidence.
But you would
No
have to
level
find
of
like a middling
evidence.
ground where it approaches the middle.
Thank you for
Would you
5,
agree
man.
with me?
Appreciate it. Wait, hang on. I wasn't listening. What did you say?
So, Azzapp, you would have to match it in a way where it approaches the middle. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, middle.
Okay.
Like if you
So
if you align them from the top to the bottom, like highest MMR to the lowest, yeah, just getting like team 1, team 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Exactly.
That would be like a reasonable way to align them to
it's
have
reasonable.
a fair shot. Yeah.
So now, imagine if you were
Thank you,
able
Coffee.
to have a viewer
Appreciate it.
tournament with thousands of people.
Appreciate it.
Now you're having multiple MMR brackets and stuff like that. So the way that you're going to make it fair is by approaching this 50%, right? But then making it happen in a way where this 50%, right, is applied to individual MMR groups. So instead of 5 plots versus 5 plots, it's going to be 5 plots versus 5 plots, but maybe on one side it's a 56 and a 44 win rate, and on the other it's a 54 and a 48, right?
Like, I don't think win rate matters at all for this. Like win rate is irrelevant. Like 70% win rate plat, like MMR is the same as 50% win rate plat MMR as far as the system is concerned.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to explain that if you had access to millions of players, right, and you wanted to make everything as fair as possible, you would use an elevated level of matchmaking compared to the baseline. Would you agree?
What do you mean? I'm getting a little bit dizzy.
Okay, let me draw it for you so you can understand. Hold on. Okay. Because now, hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. So imagine you're sitting there and this is you. Okay? That's you. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have a tournament where you're going to have 10 people, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And you're going to think to yourself, I want fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to do is you're going to match everyone in a way where you believe it to be fair, so there's not one team having an advantage over the other team. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, if you could guarantee that instead of 10 people, you have 10 million people, right? And instead of them just playing one game, they're going to play thousands of games, right? Your goal of making everything fair isn't going to change, is it?
True.
Okay, so what you're going to do is now you're just going to try to make it as fair as possible when now you have so many more ranks to work with. And the way that you're going to do it is by going down to the minute details so that you can make everything fair with, let's say, win rates or stuff like this. Do you follow?
Yeah, the more people you have, the more fair you can get because closer skill can be, yeah.
Exactly! Yes! Yes! So think about it. Take that thought right now. Take that thought. So now, Azzapp, what is more fair than a 50% win rate? What is more fair?
Nothing.
Exactly! Yes! Yes! So if nothing, Azzapp, is more fair than a 50% win rate, then would companies that want to have the fairest matchmaking possible enforce a 50% win rate to make it as fair as possible?
Like enforce 50% win rate, that is a literal definition of matchmaking, yeah.
No, wait, Azzapp, no, wait, hold on. Hold on, wait,
that's what matchmaking is. The whole, like, if matchmaking is functional, it will get you to 50%. That's the whole point of matchmaking.
Wait,
that's the idea of matchmaking.
Wait, hold on. Azzapp, you're doing this meme right now. Give me a second. Azzapp, hold on.
Yeah.
I need to show you right now. Right now, you're doing this meme. It's like I'm telling you, Azzapp is 50% win rate.
Where's the meme? Where'd you put the meme? I don't see the meme.
It's on my screen. Do you see on my screen?
Hang on. Do I need
like right now?
This is a good reference.
Azzapp, right now you're doing this meme because we're getting to a point where you're agreeing with me that you want it to be fair. And I'm saying, okay, then if you want to be fair, everything needs to be even, right? You're like, yes. And then I'm like, okay, so if everything has to be even, then what is the most fair? And you're saying 50% win rate. So then I'm saying, okay, then if a company wants to make everything as fair as possible, they would enforce a 50% win rate. And then you're saying no. But it's like Azzapp.
No, I
if you're
said yes.
saying
That
no,
you enforce 50% win rate by putting people with people of their skill bracket. That's how you enforce 50% win rate.
But hold on. But how can you enforce that? How can you enforce it if like because
you have millions of people.
yes, but dude, just because you are not a middling player normally, right? So sitting there and being like, okay, well, we're gonna be just matching willy-nilly with anybody. Like you could have some players in silver that aren't even smurfing with 500 games. Or let's say 200 games and a 73% win rate. But you will never see that. Because the thing is that you need to have an underlying system, which is the 50% win rate enforcing. And the way that they guarantee it is by having winners and losers queue. Like, okay, let me ask you a question, Azzapp.
But they don't need it.
Go back.
It's point. You don't need the winners and losers queue, and people will get to 50% anyway. Where'd Solar go? Are we playing Mecha Chameleon? Where'd it go?
Yeah, but we're playing it soon. Wait, give me a second. Let me just do one last drawing so that you can understand a bit more. So, Azzapp, I want you to imagine that you're sitting there and you're on an anniversary with your wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys are on an anniversary. This is you guys, right?
Wait, guys,
and I want you to imagine that you want to buy a cake. Okay, you want to buy a cake for your wife so that you guys can share it, right? If you had unlimited money and unlimited resources and unlimited all of these things, then you would be able to scour the reviews of all the local shops, go to the most expensive shops, maybe fly out all the chefs and all that kind of stuff to ensure that this is the best cake, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a company with billions of dollars, then tell me, Azzapp, why would you leave the 50% win rate up to chance that maybe they get it over time instead of enforcing it with an algorithm that you can spend millions of dollars developing, so that instead of being a possibility, it becomes a certainty?
Let me throw you an analogy back. Like if you were a casino and you say, like, let's say you put in $100 and like it will always be returning 96 like across a lot of time, right? The 96% return rate, you get the 4% over time. Okay, that's the idea. That's how the machine is designed. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to sit there as a casino owner and literally say, this guy wins, this guy loses. I don't need extra details. I just put it on the percent chance because the system is designed in such a way to return such yield. It's exactly how the League of Legends matchmaking.
You're fundamentally
matchmaking.
Points.
Yes,
no, matchmaking is self-regulatory. Like it regulates itself by people playing versus people who they should be playing against. That's the whole MMR point.
Hold on, wait a second.
You don't need to have like somebody above clicking yes or no,
one
win,
thing
lose.
That you forgot, Azzapp, there's one thing that you forgot. League of Legends is not 1v1. There are 10 players.
Yeah, that makes it even more complicated if you want to rig and like do these. This guy is a specific champ that he wants to play, but he doesn't get to play.
Yeah, well, which is the reason why they have billions of dollars and like literally over a decade to like develop it, right?
Okay, but what you're saying is correct though, Azzapp. If somebody was in your hypothetical, if you were a matchmaking system and somebody was just winning every time no matter what happens, you would want them to be closer to 50% win rate. Like you would want them to be 50% win rate. So how do you make them go down? Do you agree or
do you disagree with him?
Well, what did he say? You kind of interrupted him.
He's cooking! Wait,
let him cook.
So what he's saying, what he's essentially saying, right, is that you said that 50% win rate is fair, correct?
Yeah, that's the ideal that you want to strive for, yeah.
Yes, the ideal you want to strive for. So if somebody has a 60% win rate and you want 50% win rate to be fair, then wouldn't you make this person lose more so that they can approach that 50%?
Yep. Yeah, just put him versus better players. He's clearly winning too much. Yep.
But at the highest bracket, that doesn't exist, so they resort to things like other random factors.
Yes, exactly. Yes, like Azzapp, you have to understand, we're at a point right now where this is crazy because we're at like the cusp of you getting to the point of realization. But I think right now it's literally just the fact that it's like I'm coming up to Azzapp and I'm like, Azzapp, listen to me, okay? Right now I'm coming up to you and I'm like, Azzapp, listen, we have 2 pills right now, right? We have 2 pills, right? Azzapp, hear me out. We have 2 pills.
What is that? D3? Nice.
So, Azzapp, right now there are 2 pills. And you can sit there, Azzapp, and you can keep saying that loser's queue isn't real, even though you agree with every premise we're putting forth. No, wait. It's 2. Or you can swallow the pill that actually makes you realize that maybe you have been getting lied to all this time.
Also, you know what's funny?
This is preview. This is preview content.
At a casino, if you somehow break their rules and you go above, say compare casinos to somebody winning too much versus somebody who's winning too many games. Say you're winning games, you're supposed to be losing, right? This is not okay. You're 60%.
Okay.
If you win too much at a casino, you get banned. Even though technically you're supposed over time you'll go back to 50. If it's too much of an outlier, they'll do things out of the ordinary against their own rules to ensure you don't win more. So if somebody is winning 63% of your league games, they will have to take certain measures to make sure you go down.
Yeah, but like he's only talking about the tail end where it breaks, and like it would only apply to somebody like Phantasm or people, and so the losers queue would exist only for people who are like complete outliers at the top of the ladder. Because the rest of the ladder can be regulated because there are people you can match them against. It's just that it can break on occasionally on tail end. Like, let's say Phantasm is really good, and like you have Akshan who's top tier in that meta. He will obviously be above 50% win rate even if he's rank 1. So
but Azzapp,
it's harder to match him.
So there's something important to realize.
So even in the most generous case, it will only break at the complete tail end, not in the middle.
So just to explain it, you have to understand that the second you said
can we play Mecha Chameleon? I stopped Slay the Spire for this shit, man. Come on.
We're almost done. I just need 5 more minutes. Okay, so
is there winner's queue or loser's queue in Slay the Spire? He doesn't even know what to say.
Wait, is there winner's queue in Slay the Spire?
No. People win streak like 20 in a row.
Okay, maybe not yet then. But Azzapp, hear me out, okay? So the thing is that if you want a 50% win rate, right? Because we both said 50% win rate is fair, correct? Azzapp, yes or no?
Are we looping? We've been through this.
No, we're not looping. We're not looping. It's just because I forgot to tie it into how it actually mattered, and this is the reason why you're still not on board. So we both agreed that 50% is fair, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. If a player has a 54% win rate over 200 games, and it's consistent 54, and you want to come in right now and make it fair because it needs to be 50%.
You increase his MMR. Yep.
Well, you could do that, or what's another option that you could do if increasing MMR isn't a possibility?
Why is it not possible?
Well, assume that it wouldn't be. Like, for example, there are some players where they'll win streak 15 in a row and they get less LP gains or like worse LP gains, so they're playing in lower MMR, right? Like, yes, you would want to sit there and you would want it, but like you can have some players where that just doesn't happen for them. So then what would you do with those players in that case?
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to just hit them up with a higher MMR.
What if there are issues with the system fundamentally that are trying to be like Smurf detection, where when you win 6 games in a row, the game artificially boosts your elo higher than a normal 6-game win streak? So then the tail end of that is you get put in a loser's queue because your MMR gets put too high, and then your teammates are so much lower to try and make it fair. And it's like a hidden MMR, not real LP. So like you win 6, lose 6, win 4, lose 4. Because the game, like, you get boosted higher than what you're actually supposed to do. Does that make any sense?
I did not. I'm mentally checking out. I'm sorry. I can't keep up.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. Listen, I think it was a very productive conversation.
It was for the most part. I agree. Azzapp,
the one thing that I want you to say is tonight, I want you to sit there. I want you to book a trip to the Amazon rainforest.
That would be lovely. I'd be down for that, yeah.
But not with what happens next. You're gonna go to the Amazon rainforest. You're gonna find a hermit. You're gonna make him give you the strongest psychedelics that he has, and then you're gonna rewatch this VOD. By the end of that trip, Azzapp, I'm telling you, we will turn you into the greatest warrior preaching the truth of what's going on.
And also, you can get losers queue on your travels. You can get a low roll, and you can just accidentally step on a crocodile in the Nile.
I'd go if you join me. That would be hella fun. I'd be down.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Guys, who's ready for Mecha Chameleon now?
I'm here.
Wait, is anyone else here?
No, I think there's no more.
There's no such thing as a Mecha Chameleon. Mecha Chameleon has been a lie all along.
Wait. So wait, you're telling me that that the only person that came to Solar Baka ended up leaving because of our discussion?
Probably, yeah.
I feel like this discussion should have like invited more people to come talk about it, but they're so scared.
They don't want to get in the ring.
Because they don't want to be on Riot's
of ideas,
gamers. They don't want to be on Riot's bad side by exposing the truth.
Yeah, dude, like I'm not even kidding, guys. The thing about me is I'm unironically too addicted to the game to care about PR. Because like for me, it's just at a point where if I lose 5 games in a row, now it's time to make it everyone else's problem. And like fuck opportunities, fuck all that shit. Like if I need to sit here and talk about what's going on, like I will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's brave, King. You speak out.
Speak your truth.
And soon Azzapp, hey, it's not just gonna be my truth, it's gonna be our truth after the psychedelics.
One of these days, baby.
Okay, but unfortunately, it looks like no one else came, so you might have to reschedule to another day.
Yeah, sounds good.
We actually have no friends.
Yeah, this is fucked. Alright, guys, anyways, we tried.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Later, guys.
See you next time. Later. Was fun. What the fuck? What just happened, man? I'm sad I didn't get to play Mecha Chameleon. I really wanted to play the game, man. I really wanted to play Mecha Chameleon. If you enjoyed that video, watch this next. Also, majority of our content comes from our direct live streams, which happen almost daily, so consider joining those and being part of the community live. Appreciate all of your support.